I'm excited to share with you my top things to do in Fort Collins, Colorado. Whether you're relocating, visiting, or already live in the area, there is something for everyone on this list. Hi, if you're new to my channel, my name is Ellie Cates, and I make videos all about what it's like living in Northern Colorado, covering the best neighborhoods and things to do so you can get a real feel for what it's actually like living here. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, and if you're thinking of moving to Fort Collins or anywhere in Northern Colorado, I am a licensed realtor. Please feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text or email. I would love to help you find the perfect home for you and your family. Fort Collins has made top spots on many lists throughout the years, and in 2020 it made #1 on Livability's best places to live. Old Town is even the inspiration for Disneyland's Main Street USA. But what's so great about Fort Collins? Yes, it's set in the foothills of the Rockies, it has a strong economy, is home to Colorado State University, but overall it's a phenomenal place to live because of the lively culture and endless things to do for a wide array of different people. So let's jump into the list, and please leave a comment of your favorite activities or places in Fort Collins if you've ever been. I love hearing from you. Other than the obvious attraction of the mountains, which we will definitely get to later, Fort Collins is known by its 3 pillars: bikes, beers, and bands. So let's start here. Fort Collins is ranked #2 best U.S. cycling town by USA Today, and according to visitfortcollins.com, it is one of only 5 towns in the nation designated a platinum level bike-friendly community by the League of American Bicyclists. There are 280 plus miles of trails, including paved and unpaved walking and biking trails. One of my favorite things to do is hop on the Spring Creek Trail, get my daily dose of nature just minutes away from my house. The amazing thing about this and other trails is that you'll find them all throughout town, so no matter where you live, there will be one nearby. There's also a public transportation program called SPIN that allows riders to rent e-bikes short term, and you will see the bike rack docking stations all over town. Now for our second pillar, beer. Did you know that 70% of Colorado's craft beer is made in Fort Collins? This is ironic considering Fort Collins was dry until 1969. There are more than 20 unique craft breweries, and the number grows every year. Fort Collins is home to New Belgium Brewing Company, the 4th largest craft brewer in the U.S. It's also home to one of the world's largest operations, Anheuser-Busch. A great way to pass the time is to go on a brewery tour, and many of the breweries offer them and other fun events throughout the year. Some of my personal favorite breweries are Odell's, Crooked Stave, Horse and Dragon, and the lesser known Purpose, where they have 5 new beers on rotation every single week. Our third pillar is bands. Fort Collins loves its live music, and the town really knows how to keep it groovin'. In this summer, almost every night you can find some form of live music. Wednesdays feature the Lagoon Concert Series at CSU with various bands and food trucks. It's a great place to take the family and bring your blanket and lawn chairs. Thursday night is Bohemian Nights, where musicians from all walks perform in the outdoor stage of Old Town Square. You'll find many people dancing and enjoying the summer night. At Odell Brewing Company, every Friday night they have bands and food trucks, and on Saturdays there are swing dance lessons accompanied by jazz bands at a fun place called The Exchange at the north of Old Town. There are numerous music venues in Fort Collins. The Aggie is a historic, century-old music hall that has performances from local and big-name bands. Washington's is another wonderful venue that gets its name from the George Washington stained glass window you'll find there. It's a venue with a hip atmosphere and state-of-the-art sound and lighting systems. The Lincoln's Art Center is a great performing arts theater which presents nationally touring performances, including Broadway musicals. You can find open mic nights and music at Lucky Joe's Western Saloon, punk and hardcore at Surfside 7, and country line dancing at Sundance Steakhouse and Saloon, just outside of Old Town. There really is something for everyone. Also, a bonus mention, about 45 minutes outside of Fort Collins is a very special venue called Mishawaka. It's also known as the Mish. Going west up the Pooter, that's a canyon, and yes, that's a thing. It's French. You'll find this intimate venue nestled along the river and hugged by the canyon. There's also a restaurant, and you can hang out and watch kayakers and rafters pass by or stop in for a quick bite. They also have free concerts on Sunday afternoons during the summer. If that wasn't enough, Fort Collins features a few big festivals throughout the year that have a heavy focus on all three pillars. As mentioned earlier, New Belgium Brewery hosts one of the most iconic Fort Collins festivals at the end of the summer each year, and it's called Tour de Fat. It's a bike parade where everyone wears a costume or a wacky clothes, followed by music, contests, and games, and this is seriously one of my favorite days of the year. Other notable festivals include FOCO MX, the Fort Collins Music Experiment, which takes place every spring, and it showcases hundreds of Colorado musicians at dozens of venues and restaurants around town, and it's a smashingly good time. Another summertime festival is Taste of Fort Collins, which features cuisine from numerous local restaurants and food trucks, and it continuously attracts large musical acts like Nelly, Third Eye Blind, Lil Jon, and the Spin Doctors. Now to the mountains and nature, what you've all been waiting for. One of the best things to do in the summer is to take your boat or paddleboard to Horsetooth Reservoir, my personal happy place. It's nestled in the foothills on the west side of town, and fun fact, during its construction, part of the community called Stout, Colorado, was flooded. You can still find remains of some of the buildings at the bottom today. The reservoir is approximately a half-mile wide and 6.5 miles long, and it has multiple access points and beach areas. On the northwest section, you'll find Lory State Park, where there are calm waters found in coves surrounded by breathtaking rock formations. There's an unofficial dog cove and also a party cove where you can sometimes hear DJs playing. It's truly an experience. Lory State Park also offers multiple trails like the famous Arthur's Rock Trail. It's a 3.4 out and back trail with some of the best views of the town. Speaking of hikes, at the southwest part of the reservoir, you'll find Horsetooth Mountain Open Space, which includes 2,700 acres and 29 miles of hiking, biking, and equestrian trails. There's another iconic hike to Horsetooth Rock, which is one of Fort Collins' most notable landmarks. Native American legend says that it's the remains of a dragon's heart. What do you think it looks like? Other prominent areas just outside of town include Gray Rock up the Poudre Canyon and Soapstone Prairie Natural Area out east, where you'll find a completely different and beautiful landscape and nature preserve. Now to get a little less wild and a little more civilized. The charming historic district of Old Town with alleys and brick-paved streets is a wonderful place to go for shopping, dining, boutiques, and galleries. You can reconnect with the past by touring the historic Avery House, home to Franklin Avery, one of Fort Collins' developers who was responsible for the wide streets throughout the town. You can also have a blast from the past by taking a ghost tour through Old Town, or you can ride on the Fort Collins Trolley, a streetcar restored to its 1919 glory. Additionally, you can bring the kids to the farm at Lee Martinez Park, where they can ride ponies and pet farm animals while you view antique farm equipment and learn about the industry that shaped this region. If you like museums, be sure to check out the Fort Collins Museum of Discovery. It's an all-ages interactive museum that focuses on science, history, and culture. Be sure to check out the Music and Sound Lab. It is very cool. In the old post office building, you'll find the Museum of Art, which houses many exhibits throughout the year, as well as classes and workshops. This brings me to the fun and inspiring First Friday Art Walk that occurs, you guessed it, the first Friday of every month downtown. It's a self-guided tour through all spectrums of art, including fine art galleries to the more funky side of things. Now onto something that I know everyone loves, food. Every third Friday of the month, you can go on a self-guided foodie walk that celebrates the culinary culture of Old Town. Stop by shops for seasonal flavors, interactive showcases, and a delicious time. Every Tuesday in the summer, you can also bring the family and dogs to the food truck rally, where you can eat your heart out and enjoy more live music. It's often been said that Fort Collins has the most restaurants per capita than any other city in the U.S., so you will never run out of delicious options for dining. Okay, so we covered a lot of ground, but I do have a few more honorable mentions. You have to see a movie at the Holiday Twin Drive-In Theater. It's one of only 7 drive-in movie theaters left in the state. You can stay at the historic Armstrong Hotel or the new and hip Elizabeth Hotel, where rooms have record players to spin your vinyl on. You can also go to a speakeasy at Ace Gillette's or The Social, or you can sip on a fancy cocktail and look at the Fort Collins skyline at the swanky Sunset Lounge. For all my pianists and those aspiring, don't forget to play one of the many public pianos around town. And there are so many parks, frisbee golf courses, skate parks, and so much more to see in this amazing town. I could really go on for days. That about wraps it up for my list today, and thanks for sticking to the end, and I hope you have the pleasure of experiencing this beautiful town for yourself. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you on the next video.